frontier. This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toal,
target man, suspicious character,
and
welcome to Football Daft. It's the daftest Scottish football podcast around. I am not Stephen Purden. I am producer John. Stephen is away on River City duty this week.
I know.
So, but let's welcome the team. Let's welcome a man who's just scored himself a row in the Aberdeen Panto. It's Chris Toal.
Alright, mate.
Shh. Don't tell him, Dave.
Sorry, that may be secret.
There's a job up for grabs. So I thought, fuck it.
It's Beauty and the Beast in Aberdeen this year. Chris, are you going to be Beauty or the Beast?
Depends what day you catch me on.
Okay, no worries. That is Chris appearing in the Aberdeen Panto very soon. And now for a man who has had a weekend of mixing it up with his stars at Transmit, it is Grado.
What are you saying to it, mate? You alright?
I'm alright. Who were you kind of hanging about with the weekend at Transmit?
Becky Hill.
What? Right, alright.
Interviewed her.
Is that Clint's daughter?
No, but she didn't like me.
Why did she not like you?
Oh, I was trying.
What was your chat? Were you doing that thing where you're trying to be over nice?
I do know that. See, honest with you, I couldn't tell you one of her songs. Right?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you, I've not heard her.
Well,
she was on The Voice, wasn't she?
She was on The Voice years ago, and then she ended up getting big, and she's in that, she's in the song with that, I need your love, I need
David Guetta.
Aye, and I could kind of, no, it's not David Guetta.
Is
it
it's a remix one that's out there now.
Either way, I kind of started. I'd had a couple of drinks and I started singing one of her songs, and she just didn't find it funny at all. She went, and in case you didn't know, we've got an album out next week, and it's blah 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 blah. And now that way, I thought this is going to end up in one of the worst backstage interviews.
When TV goes wrong.
It was a bit of a redneck, but Transmit was brilliant.
It's for what you're saying there. It sounds like you're having a good laugh, and she's a bit of a dick.
Exactly.
Aye. Did you go to see Liam Gallagher?
Saw Liam Gallagher, had to leave halfway through because I had an Uber booked, which cost me £80 for Glasgow to Killie, and that was Stephanie picking me up. But it was good, man. Everybody was brand new. Who else did I see?
I hope you claimed that against your travel expenses for Go.
Well, no, don't say that.
Sorry.
We're getting into the technicalities. I hope you claim that against your travel expenses, Grado. You met Nathan Evans, didn't you?
Oh, Nathan Evans, I met him. He was good.
See Shanty Boy.
Is that Gareth's son?
Can we reveal that there was a couple of bands coming up to you, Grado, and saying, that was a good result today?
That's right.
Can we reveal?
Nathan Evans, the first thing he said was, alright, big, we just done well today, name it, good in name there. Then who was the other guy? The guy for Twin Atlantic. That was a good result today.
Twin Atlantic are Rangers supporters.
The lead singer was.
That hurts my heart because I quite like him.
Oh, you're not going to be able to listen to him anymore, Chris.
I don't give a fuck about a sea shanty guy, but
he's from Airdrie as well, so you know.
But you know what I thought was quite interesting? He told me, Nathan, he's brand new by the way, but he came out and he opened Saturday with "Dun the weatherman comes, and I goes, and what did you finish with? And he said, "The weatherman." You done it twice. I thought, fucking get on you, man. Right, we're going to play Weatherman again.
It's only 2 minutes.
I remember I seen Alice Cooper a few years back, and he started off with Schools Out, and he finished with Schools Out.
It's funny because
the old Nathans took some tips for Alice.
It's funny, see the first ever right. Obviously, I went to You Know Who in 1993, right?
Yes, he shall.
Who we can't be named, right? Paul Gadd. That's all we'll say. But the next gig I actually went to, like when I could drink and I was older, was Red Hot Chili Peppers in Glasgow Green.
That was as well.
Right, that was the first night I ever got steaming, and they played By the Way because that was the song in the charts.
Remember, Electric Six supported them that night.
Queens of Stone Age as well.
Queens of Stone Age.
Foo Fighters as well.
Foo Fighters, but they played By the Way at the start, and I remember like halfway through, I was like, when are they going to play By the Way again? I thought they're going to play that again. Brilliant. My mum still sent me to school. That was also the same night as SummerSlam 2002.
If Nathan was there, then they would have played By the Way about 4 times.
So Transmit good, Grado.
Aye, it was good, man. It was good.
So Grado, how long were you standing in line to see that show?
What show? What do you mean?
I can't believe you've not got that one. Red Hot Chili Peppers standing in.
Oh, dear, oh dear.
Fuck's sake, gutted. Boo.
Oh, you didn't get that.
Cut that one out, Ryan.
There we go.
There's nothing worse when you do that and the other cunt's like, what are you talking about?
So, more great gags from Chris Toal on the way today. But remember, on the channel at the moment, Football Daft channel, you can catch up with Rangers at Celtic Daft. We look back at the St Johnstone game on Rangers Daft. How was Celtic Daft, Chris?
Aye, Ryan brought his A game.
Right, but good to hear that.
Rangers Daft was pretty pointless for me this week because I was at Transmit and I never watched the
Well,
football.
Ryan never seen the Celtic game either. So
I could tell you more about the Blackpool game. My dad is sending me constant. You know what he does every week now, right? See, because he's got a Blackpool season ticket and a Newcastle season ticket. A couple of weeks ago, he goes, him that was at Rangers. He's been at every fucking club in Britain. He's a coach at Blackpool. I was going, who is it? And he showed me a picture with Stuart McCall. Right. And so
is he only a coach at Blackpool?
He's a coach at Blackpool, right? And see every Saturday, my dad's sending me a picture of Stuart McCall. He doesn't even tell me like that's me in Blackpool. He just sends me a picture about 10 to 3, a picture of Stuart McCall. Like I've got about 5 different Stuart McCall pictures for every week.
That must be some buzz for him, right enough.
He loves it, mate. Loves it. He says Newcastle's brilliant, but he says because they all fucking sing about Steve Bruce. He says he gets a right sale time.
It's a proper good place to go and watch football because the ground's right in the middle of the centre.
No, because that was at Trafford.
I know it was away. I was just.
Do you know that? He's gone in Boxing Day. Boxing Day to see Ronaldo.
Nice.
He loves it, man.
Nice. So yeah, you can hear in-depth analysis of the Celtic and Rangers games at the weekend if you're an Old Firm supporter up on the channel now, even though no one saw any of the games. And up on the channel as well, you'll also be able to hear Football Daft meets with Connie McLaughlin. She was brilliant last week. Some really interesting stuff about the sports behavioural stuff that she does.
That was really, really interesting. I would choke to know about which club she tried to get it at.
I know. Go and have a listen to that and see if you can guess who it was.
It's probably one of the clubs with Amazon documentary, and I'm not allowed to say
that. Is maybe true, Chris. You're maybe right. Well, you can pester Connie about that and try and find out what happened there. What's been happening in Scottish football though, boys? Edinburgh Derby there at the weekend.
Is that not one of the greatest displays of goalkeeping you've ever seen in your life?
I was going to say, is that not one of the best 0-0s you've ever seen?
It was tremendous.
I feel as if the Edinburgh Derby's always not an inch.
Usually a Edinburgh Derby's a really good game.
Honest to God, you had the Hibs. Who's the Hibs keeper? Was it
Matt Macy?
Matt Macy and Craig Gordon. The two of them. Right. You couldn't pick a man of the match out of the two of them. Honest to God,
see, you're gonna have to watch back and we can get the goalkeeper analysis from Grado.
I've got it on my Sky Plus. You want to come down after the show?
So no, have you seen a better 0-0 draw? Can you think of when you went to football? You know what it's like. You come away, it's fucking 0-0.
Do you know what? I'll tell you this. I have seen a better 0-0 draw. Right, Celtic versus Barcelona in the Nou Camp.
That's right. That was Marshall, wasn't it? Unbelievable goalkeeper save.
The first one, it's only popping out of my head because it was exactly 11 years ago this week was Man U and Rangers at Old Trafford. I'm sure right. Broadfoot or what do you call him? No Broadfoot, the other one.
The other shite one.
The singer's brother, boyfriend.
Shirley Bassey.
Ricky Foster.
Ricky Foster.
Calvin Bassey.
He played good in that game. I remember that. That was not an each. That was good.
Aye. So, cracking game of football. Dominic Mackay stepped down as Celtic's chief executive.
Chris?
You know what? I don't know. I've not spoke to him this week.
Have you not?
He's been into his celibate.
But, so, I mean, they've cited personal reasons, Chris, and you hope, for him and his family, it's nothing serious. But it's obviously when that comes out, the questions start getting asked all around, don't they?
Aye. I've spoke about this on Celtic Daft. Do you know what? You can only, if it has been personal reasons, then you can only say let the guy go with the best of wishes. Do you know what I mean? But something not right about it.
Something fishy, innit? I'm getting all the WhatsApp texts and stuff like that about how, they went.
What are the rumours?
This week has been very disturbing for WhatsApp rumours. Let's all just put it like that. It's been a bit worse than usual, innit?
Absolutely.
It's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible because these people aren't able to defend themselves against this. I mean, I think everybody knows what we're alluding to here. We've had to have the police come out and say that there's no, the rumours aren't true. Do you know what I mean? That's the first time I've ever seen that.
If a WhatsApp rumour,
and you get all the WhatsApp rumours all the time. Do you know what I mean? About this, that, or the other. Like, remember the Morelos car hanging, all that, and what have you. And it very, very rarely ever turns out to be true. So
exactly,
I don't tend to put much stock in the rumours, to be honest with you, Grado.
Yeah, Michael Nicholson's stepped in as interim CEO. Chris, is it his job until he loses it pretty much then, do you reckon, or do you think they'll bring someone in?
I think it's just one of the jobs for the boys things again, isn't it, John?
Do you think so?
I think so.
He's a yes man, Toal.
I'm terrified that Gordon Strachan's going to get that job.
Right enough.
Well, they know, was there no, I don't know, we're alluding to these WhatsApp rumours again.
You're right, but no, that wasn't a rumour. If you're talking about Mackay coming out and saying that
he didn't want
Strachan there, so I think that could have something to do with, you know, the first big decision when he's the CEO and they fucking go against him on it, do you know what I mean?
Well, so that's it, isn't it?
If that is the case, then you couldn't blame the guy for walking.
You can understand this. He's not for me. I'm out the door.
Well, the other big story this week is that the 5 Scottish Premiership clubs have commissioned an independent advisors to conduct a review of the SPFL and identify significant additional revenues for the benefit of all. Aberdeen, Dundee United, Hearts and Hibs have engaged Deloitte to undertake the evaluation, which has been endorsed by SPFL.
What's that? What is this?
Deloitte is like the financial fucking wizards, basically, for...
They're basically wanting more money. It all boils down to they're going to have a strategic and holistic review which will cover 4 main points: commercial growth, the SPFL brand, SPFL structure, governance, organisation, resources and competition, and strategic projects. Interesting, obviously Celtic and Rangers aren't involved. Did they not try and do something similar?
And everybody said fuck off.
Aye, and now this is obviously happening.
But the thing is, I think Celtic and Rangers wanted a higher percentage of it because they bring in the most revenue. So
this isn't reconstruction.
This is basically an analysis of the SPFL and can they do a better job? You know, can they get more money?
So like for the TV deals and stuff like that, which
I think we all agree
for years.
Exactly, I think we all agree as football supporters that Scottish football has been completely undersold for years.
There's got to be...
It's an untapped resource, I think, Scottish football.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't get why they've no sat together and went, right, here, everybody now is watching these games on apps and stuff like that, the Fire Stick and stuff like that. Why have they not just got an app? I'm sure there'll be plenty of folk out there that would pay so much money a month.
I'll tell you this now, I've said this before on the show, Grado, and see what you're saying there. I don't know why they're not in control of their own broadcast rights, because, like you said, could you imagine an SPFL Netflix?
Correct.
Where you can go on a Saturday and watch any team throughout the 4 divisions.
Yeah.
Any game.
Documentaries.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like pre-game stuff and all that.
And you can have your own wee team section. And then, like, obviously, if you want to go and watch fucking Arbroath versus Brecon City, you can do it, you know what I mean? Even though they're not in the same league, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's the money, we're being completely undersold. You know, the Sky deal is poor. You know, it's just like, and you watch the football, you know, you watch some of the games. I mean, the thing that's really pissed me off at the moment is, now I get it, the women's Premiership on Sky, they've obviously brought that, and fair play to them, but it gets fucking more coverage than the Scottish game. Now, listen,
there's not one Scottish team, not one professional team in the Scottish, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get fucking pelters for it.
No.
But there is not one team in the Scottish top 4 divisions that wouldn't beat an English women's Premier League team.
Right, that's got nothing to do with the point.
No, but what I'm saying is, listen, what I'm saying is, the standard is better, yet they're firing all this money behind, and I can understand it's for the equality and stuff like that, and I agree with it. And by the way, I've watched a few women's matches as well, and the standard is getting better.
Is that the truck backing up now? Is it? Is that
truck here?
No, fuck it. This is the hill that I'll die. This is the hill that I'll die on.
Right, okay. Right. I was going to say they're putting so much more money into promoting the women's game down south than they are putting into promoting the Scottish game. Well, obviously,
they definitely putting more money in it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know there's more games, but are they getting more money?
Absolutely, it's getting more promotion. I guess it's the first season of it. So, but at the same time, you know, the crowds that the women's game draws compared to the crowds that we draw up here, you know, there should definitely be. Even you only have to go into the Sky Sports app when there's a Scottish game on, and you can't even find it on the app.
And it's not just that. See when they do their screenshots and stuff like that, and their splashes for on your Sky screen. Like, for example, the Celtic versus somebody recently, I think it was actually Celtic versus Rangers. It was two players that don't even play for the clubs anymore.
Yeah,
and it was the old jerseys.
Aye.
And I don't know how many times it's coming up saying like the United versus St Mirren, and it's an
Dundee.
Aberdeen badge or something like that.
Aye.
You know what I mean? They don't give a fuck about it. But getting back to your point that you said, Grado, right? You're not going to tell me that there's not a million people that would pay for that Netflix thing, right? Say you're charging £5 a month. That's £5 million a month, right? Do you know what I mean? So that straight away, that defeats any annual. Even if you could charge it, I would pay a tenner.
I'd pay a tenner for it.
You know
I
what
would
I mean?
pay a tenner for it.
In fact, see, to be honest with you, see if I was guaranteed to get all the Celtic games live on the telly, I would probably pay about £25 a month for that.
I think you definitely, and you could probably do like different tiers as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get so many matches, you get a tenner a month, you get this, you get that league, you get everything
Absolutely.
else.
It's like Patreon. Obviously, you can subscribe to
That was a good wee segue to get your Patreon.
Patreon.com/Football Daft for more content. They're looking to increase it from 27 million to 50 million across 5 years. So fingers crossed they can get some more money into the Scottish game.
50 million across 5 years.
Well, 27 million up to 50, at least 50 million. They're saying, Chris.
Right. So like
So at the moment, we're on 27
That's 10 million a year. You could be earning that a month.
You could be earning that a month.
Well,
Why are they not forward thinking on this? I realise that they maybe don't have the infrastructure to do it right now, but see if they can branch out and bring in, like, Celtic brought in Fremantle, right, which is a huge American production company.
Yeah.
Why can you not just get them to do it and understand that there's going to be 20 odd games every week? You know what I mean? But there's no reason why they can't do it, because if they put the money out there, they're going to make it back quicker than you could imagine anyway.
Yeah.
It's just typical Scottish football, isn't it?
It is, and that's what we're going to be talking about on the open line later on. Hopefully get some calls on that. We'll be playing for pies in the player profile playoff on the big question. Here we go, boys. It's a good one this week. We're looking at the best football facts and stats that you know. And we'll be revealing last week's Swankiest Moment with Eldorado Tonic Wine a bit later on. And we've got some new options for you to vote on. Grado has his 3 riddles, don't you, Grado?
I sure do. Thought of in my head and the road in.
I look forward to them. And on teammates, it's the legend, the ice cream van driver himself. It's Mr. Bob Malcolm on teammates.
My favourite.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Wait till I tell you this one. So, I was on night shift last night, so I never got up for the gym this morning because I had this to do as well. Right?
The gym?
So Sammy comes in and she goes, guess what's happened? I says, what's happened? She says, somebody's fucking reversed into a motor when I was in the gym. The car's parked outside the gym, somebody's reversed into it. Do you know what I says to her?
I know exactly what you said there.
Who the fuck does... No, I say, Sammy, you need to get yourself onto G4 Claims.
Did you get a wee buzz that you had to actually use G4 Claims? Obviously, it was quite, disheartening that happened to you, but were you kind of like, oh, this is a good wee...
To be honest with you, mate, I'll cut out, mate, boy. However, I still thought there's money to be made here. I'm getting onto G4 Claims. So remember, if you've been in a road traffic accident, you're not at fault. G4 Claims can make it easy for you. They can provide you with complete accident management support that you require. They'll recover your costs from the at-fault party, and they'll sort out a like-for-like vehicle replacement. They'll also organise your vehicle to be repaired at one of their approved body shops and returned to you. Should your vehicle be deemed a write-off, they will recover the pre-accident value for your car and write you a big fat cheque for it. And best of all, it won't cost you a penny as they charge the at-fault insurance direct. G4 Claims don't cold call, they don't buy data, and once they've processed your claim, your insurance will remain unscathed. And the best thing is, Nicole and the team over there won't take on your case if they don't think that they can help. So, if you've been in a road traffic accident or know someone that has, go on to G4 Claims on 01698 767 172. That's 01698 767 172. Get them at notatfaultclaim.com or find them on social media at G4 Claims Limited. G4 Claims, not at fault claims,
made easy.
The Football Daft open line, the open line, of course, where anything goes. You can talk football, you can talk nonsense, you can talk about your weekend at Transmit. It's entirely up to you. As usual, we have our panel of football experts in the inverted comma on hand. So let's go to our first caller, and it is John. How you doing, John?
Alright, gents, how are you?
Right, John.
All good, mate.
All the better for seeing you, sweet
Now,
cheeks.
there's an interesting story here. John was listening to the podcast last week, and he was intrigued about Kev the Chef's walk around of the crazy golf. Now, John was meant to be out on the golf course today and was meant to be giving us a tour of what course was it?
Lockview up at just the top of Cope Bridge.
Well, are you a Cope Bridge man yourself?
No, I'm for the East. I'm originally for Port, but I stay at the East End now.
Mate, I could have came and met you and we could have done an on-location fucking review of the golf course.
So what, is he going to give us a review?
No, he's unfortunately, he's not there. Where are you today, John?
I'm in the house. I've had to move a couple of things about. I ended up playing. I was supposed to play this morning, but I had some complications with the wains and stuff, so I could only get the driving range this morning. So,
You go to the driving range at Cope Bridge, I know.
it's the same one that's up there. I've been up a couple of times.
Aye, I use that driving range when I get a hold of a junior club.
See, I usually manage to drop the wains off at school and nursery on my days off, and then I'll go straight up there for the opening about 10. So,
Do you play every day?
No, every day. I usually try and go on the days that I've got off during the week for work, so that I can work.
It does sound good, but see when you hear about folk going to relax and all, and it helps them clear their mind and all that.
My uncle retired and he goes to the golf course 2 or 3 times a week now, and he just loves it, man.
That sounds brilliant. Would you like to
Well, we take it up together, Grado. We'll take it up. Golf Daft.
Aye.
Golf Daft.
He makes it look good. Larry David makes it look good. What is it? But the only thing is, it's the 18 holes thing that put me off. The first
You
time I
can
played,
go to a 9-hole course.
but even at that, I remember going to one of the first charity golf games, and I was sat and we were all getting my breakfast, and I was loving it, and I was like, "What's the crack? We'll just boot for about an hour then, or whatever." And they were going, "No, it's fucking." I was out for about 6 or 7 hours playing.
Was that the time I came?
By the way,
Might have been.
It's a shift. John, do you want to talk about the football?
well, to be honest, I was originally just coming on to do an impression of Kev the Chef and show you that.
Aye, day with your house.
I'm not doing it in my house, man. My wains are a bit mental. My missus was trying to deal with them.
Have you got house embarrassment?
One thing I thought about I was going to bring up. So I listened to a couple of podcasts, right? And I've just realised how much the adverts on them absolutely grind my gears. Have you heard the one that Bet Victor Day with Harry Redknapp and Michael Owen?
No.
Right. It comes through where some guy asks Harry Redknapp's opinion on some fictional game that's going to be played. And Harry Redknapp says, I've not got a clue. Why don't you ask Michael Owen? Michael Owen says, I think there's going to be goals in that game. And Harry Redknapp then says, nah, no chance. Both defences are solid. And part of me goes, what? Michael Owen should be asking him, why the fuck are you asking my opinion if you're just going to...
I think the whole thing is you don't get footballers to act. I mean, have you ever watched Escape to Victory?
No, but see, shot at glory. That was beautiful. That was a masterpiece.
Come on, Ali McCoy's acting is questionable.
Alan McCoy's got a BAFTA for that.
I tell you what, I tell you what, Alan McCoy was brilliant in that, and I even think some of the stand-in folk, would you call him with the blonde hair and the big lugs that played for Dunfermline?
Andy Smith.
Andy Smith, I thought he was good. I thought they all came across as quite natural.
I put about 10 minutes on, man, and Robert Duval just...
I'll agree with you there, John, man.
What about the goal films when the football's... Because there's a couple of football cameos in that. Beckham makes a wee cameo in that as well. Thomas Gravison's in the second one.
Fucking right, yes. TG.
You can't act football. You can't act football.
Do you know what? You can't act football.
Well, there's the story Alan McCoy tells about how they got all the cameras set up and he was to score a goal.
Aye,
and the guy goes,
right, let's run that again.
Let's run it again.
I know. It was Owen Coyle told us that when he was.
Did he tell it on that podcast or not?
He did. But we'll look out for those adverts, and of course, you wouldn't hear any bad adverts on Football Daft, John. You know,
only G4 claims.
I don't mind tongue-in-cheek bad adverts like your G4 claims ones, but this one seems like it's genuinely meant to be.
It's not a bad advert, John. Can I just say that? If anyone from G4 claims listen, it's not a bad advert.
I like the... We like the Manscaped because we do actually use it. We do actually trim our balls with it and use the powder and all that and the creams.
See, to be honest, the adverts aren't even the problem. It's probably just the dialogue in that one. It really bugs me that Harry Redknapp asks for his opinion and then completely shoots it down.
But yeah, it's funny. It's the only one that causes a bit of an issue on this, right, is the VPN ones. We do VPN.
Stevie doesn't like them for some reason.
Stephen doesn't want to date because he thinks that BBC are going to hear that he's fucking using the VPN and firing for our side, isn't he? He's always going, no man, I can't be doing that. So if River City are going to come in and go, mate, you've been fucking watching illegal River City streams. You know what I mean?
I heard that's what the BBC are cracking down on people.
John,
They're definitely getting their fucking priorities right there, aren't they?
John, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And if Stephen's off the next time, I know you're talking about being the fourth wheel. You're welcome on any time.
I'm more than happy to, man. Honestly, I'll take his paycheck as well. We're at it, right?
No chance, mate.
It's not much anyway.
Cheers, John.
See you later, guys.
See you after.
Let's move on to our next caller on the open line, and it is a man called Curtis Rose. How you doing, Curtis?
I'm good, guys. How are you doing? You all right, guys?
All good.
Mate, that sounds like an action hero's name or something like that.
It sounds like it should be in like an 80s hair metal band.
Or Love Island.
Or Love Island. All right, here's Curtis Rose going into Casa Amor today to get shacked up with Abigail.
Curtis has
Don't
just
say
pumped
that,
Abigail.
Sorry,
Sorry, mate.
Hey, let boy talk for fuck's sake.
So Curtis, you've got a bit of a charity game going on, haven't you?
Yes, I do. Yes, 26th of September for the Beatson. Glasgow Wellington will take on the Beatson charity amateur team that just started up. Hopefully raise some decent funds for the charity. Have a good day, family and stuff like that. So looking forward to it. Aye.
Absolutely, a charity close to my heart, mate.
And me.
So it's on the 26th of September. It's a 1 o'clock kick-off at Maryhill Juniors, is that right?
That's right, aye. I think they're actually sponsored by the wrestling ICW, aren't they? So
Maryhill's still sponsored by ICW.
So aye, decent ground, like we said, decent venue. Next Saturday, 1 o'clock kick-off, like you said, Maryhill Juniors. Hopefully get a decent crowd down and stuff like that. We're actually struggling for players, saying he's got a game. He's come down. I don't know if I've seen you play with that Rangers game a couple of years ago, mate. Key rerun it if he's want.
Aye, so what days are we in Saturday?
Week Sunday.
A week Sunday.
You can have Chris Toal for the goals, obviously, because he'll get everything.
I'm wrestling that day, but
I'm going to try and make that, mate. So I'll just gradowrestling@gmail.com. Give us a wee email and we'll try and sort something out, right?
Smashing, big man. Brilliant.
Aye, so let's just hold on. How can we donate?
How can we? Aye.
So we've got, if you go onto our Twitter or Facebook, Glasgow Wellington, or Glasgow Dukes on Twitter, Glasgow Dukes.
Wait a minute.
I think I've got a shot of them.
Is that team? You've got their jersey, Grado, haven't you?
It doesn't fit me, but
I'll have it.
Pied is what we sent them right enough, but I think it's got in our shirts fit.
you do, man, but I couldn't even get it in my chest.
I'd take that jersey off you, but it's got Grado on the back.
It has got Grado. It's a beastie t-shirt, by the way, but it's just like a fucking bib chip on me.
Have you been on the show before? I remember somebody coming on to talk about Glasgow Wellington before.
Oh, bro, wasn't best of luck with it. Who do you support, Curtis?
Rangers.
Don't have to say it like that. It's okay, you've got Grado.
It's a Rangers podcast, mate. Speak up.
This is Rangers Daft, don't you know?
Rangers man the now, so hopefully get a result tomorrow night as well.
Yeah, man, Rangers man the now. That sounds like you're considering changing your fucking mind.
No, not at all. But hopefully they get a result tomorrow against the tough game and stuff like that. Belly back at Abrams as well.
Oh, he's out.
But I mean, you guys are you guys are struggling at the back a wee bit. Hollander, that's the news out today that he's going to be out for a good while.
I think he's out. So I mean, they'll be a good team. They'll get guys like, well, I don't know if Shaqiri's here as well. I had something his back or something.
Shaqiri's, I think, is fit.
Fuck's sake, I forgot he played for them.
I know.
And they've got big your man at the back.
Denier.
The big German.
Aye.
Signed for Bayern Munich.
Aye, so they'll be decent regardless anyway, but
Boateng.
Bet watch don't fucking end up in a G4 claims here, by the way. We were driving about with us and your phone there like that.
Right, so can you do us a favour then? Curtis going to send a wee tweet to @Football Daft on Twitter or something and give us a link so that we can retweet it and get some donations for you, mate.
Yes, mate, that'd be brilliant. I appreciate that, guys.
Brilliant.
All the best, mate.
Well, best of luck, Curtis.
Hope it goes well, man.
Brilliant. All the best, lads. Cheers.
Cheers, mate. So that's it for this week's Open Line. Remember, if you want to be on next week, all you have to do is look out for the link on the Twitter @FootballDaftPod, or why not sign up to our Patreon and you can get in first dibs, patreon.com/FootballDaft.
Football Daft's big question.
So 87% of us love a football stat, but what is the best one that you know? That's what we want to find out on this week's big question.
Rangers, world's most successful club.
Well, there you go. Straight off there. That's your favourite fact.
That's my favourite
All
fact.
the trophies and
I just knew he was going to say something there. Turned in his mic.
yes, son of a bitch.
Chris, what's yours?
Mine's is actually outside of Scottish football. I love this statistic, right? Do you know that Franco Baresi and Paolo Maldini played 196 games together for AC Milan, and they only conceded 23 goals?
When did you find that out?
I've known it, but I had to look it up to get the exact. To be fair, I know, but come on now.
I'm going to go for Falkirk one. Falkirk were the first club to play a televised game under floodlights when they played Newcastle in a friendly. There you go.
That's about it. Was you born?
No, it was before my time. But I've got a wee plaque. I've got a wee plaque in it that sits above my toilet, which is signed by Yogi Hughes. It's the last game at Brockville. It's got the date of the last game.
Is it a floodlight?
No, it's not a floodlight, but it's got this wee stat, so I read it every time I'm having a pee.
Oh, do you? That's cute, man.
Oh, that's cute. That's cute.
I know another one. Celtic were the first British team to win the European Cup.
I know you got that.
There we go. Right, okay, the listeners have been in touch and they've got a few for us, boys.
Right, Ryan says there's a 77.7% chance of scoring a penalty. Oh, how do you work that out? Is that just by averages?
I don't know, Ryan must have just been sitting there like calculating.
I think Ryan's made that up, man. Is that Ryan Dunbar?
It might be Ryan Dunbar, actually.
When I give a wee shout out to Ryan, he said a wee bit of a bad time here recently.
You had said that. Is everything alright?
His dad got in touch. He's just had a wee bit of a bad time. His dad was asking for a wee shout out for him.
Shout out to Ryan Dunbar, obviously one of the biggest fans of the podcast, and he's a good kind of follow us with the wrestling and stuff like that as well. So Ryan, if you're listening, pal, chin up biggie and give us a wee shout if you need in.
Right, we've got Jersey Boy. Before Euro 2004, Greece had never won a single match at a major tournament, and they won the whole fucking thing.
That's a good start. Scott says St Johnstone are the only senior football team in the UK with the letter J in their name. I knew that one. I knew that. Yeah, there's no other team with the letter J.
No, Rangers.
Right, Queen's Park have made the FA Cup final twice.
Yes, this is. I looked this one up as well. Before, they used to play just the one cup across Scotland and England, and Queen's Park got to the FA Cup final.
There you go.
Interesting.
John says when Malmo drew Copenhagen in the Europa League groups in 2019, Copenhagen was a closer away game than any other that Malmo would play in Sweden. Malmo's stadium is closer to Copenhagen Airport than it is to Malmo.
That is mental. That is absolutely mental.
It reminds me when Celtic tried to move to Cumbernauld.
Did they?
Years ago, mate.
Oh, it's a matter. I'm sorry. Switched off. Scott says Martin O'Neill's middle name is Michael and Michael O'Neill's middle name is Martin.
Oh, I like that. That's a bit like, do you know what Phil and Gary Neville's father's called?
Neville.
That's a belter.
Tom.
So Martin and Michael's MMOs must have been... I fucking never mind, scrap that. Dylan says Clydebank's Kilbowie Park was the first all-seater stadium in Great Britain.
Oh, that's Clydebank? Kilbowie Park?
Kilbowie, aye.
What was that? So would that have been like after in the late 80s, early 90s?
Aye, Kilbowie was...
First all-seater stadium. Can't you hide that wet money?
Queen of the South is the only team in the Bible, but we're discussing that, wouldn't we?
There's got to be something else.
I take it's
St Johnson, St Mirren.
I mean, obviously it's no...
I tell you what, at some point they must mention young boys in the Bible.
That's a good shout.
They must. We're going to have to look into this. If you are...
I'm not fucking reading the Bible, I'll tell you that.
Burning your hands. If you know the Bible inside out, if there is a priest or a minister listening, could you please go through it and let us know if there are any other football teams named? Genesis, a band are named in the first book. I know that much.
I think it might be the other way about with that one, John.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Ronaldo 13 says 3 of Celtic's league invincible players had already won an invincible league elsewhere.
That's a stat that I did not know.
Chris, go on. Who do you think? Who would be the 3 that have won an invincible league elsewhere? I mean, the only invincible
team... Is there any ex-Arsenal players?
Well, no, that's the one that springs to mind immediately when you say invincible is Arsenal, but I can't even think of anyone that's Celtic invincible.
AC Milan?
Maybe.
No, we didn't have any ex-AC Milan players, did we?
Unless you're no, he wasn't there part of the Invincible.
I'm going to look at
Ronaldo, get back to that. We'd love to know what 3 players Celtic had that started in the Invincible side, also had Invincible leagues elsewhere. That'd be great to know.
Jordan says Andrzej Kanchelskis is the only player to have scored in the Glasgow, Merseyside and Manchester derbies.
That's interesting.
Yeah, someone contested that and said, what about Ray Wilkinson?
What about Brian McClure?
I don't think he scored, and I don't think he scored in the Glasgow derby. Brian McClure, did he? Or Merseyside didn't even play for Liverpool.
Played for Everton, did he not?
No, I don't think so.
Who did Michael Ball play for? Did he? I know he played for Everton, but did he play for?
Never scored against Celtic, did he?
No, I think so.
No. Good start. Chris says Mark Hughes played for Wales and Bayern Munich on the same day.
What's the crack with that?
That is true.
That's got to be a testimonial.
I don't know if it was a testimonial or a friendly, but he did one game, then flew over. I think Wales were playing quite close.
Jamie Carragher played for Liverpool and Everton on the same day.
Did he?
When
he was a youngster?
Because he's
a fucking testimonial.
Still, it's a fucking start, isn't it?
Do you know I had to put that book down because of that? See, I was using Jamie Carragher's book and it was putting me off.
He's a pure heavy Everton fan, isn't he?
Aye, and I thought...
He's not anymore though, is he?
I know, but there was something about that where I was just like... that wouldn't wash up here.
That is it, you know. I don't say that. Look at Kenny Miller. He played for Celtic.
No, but it's
Melmo
different.
Johnson.
I know what you're saying. Mm-hmm.
Graham's come in with the team that misses first in a penalty shootout goes on to win 70% of the time.
Oh, that's good to know that for the future. I'm trying to settle you a wee bit, man.
When you're standing in the stand, you just go,
miss
the first one.
I love that you're sitting in the stand.
Miss the first one.
There's a 70% chance, a 70% chance.
Yeah, miss the first one, your own fans are like,
what am I going to say? So, Tam the Bairn says Falkirk are the only Scottish club to hold the world transfer record.
This is true. I believe it was in 1928. Sid Puddlefoot, £5,000 world transfer record.
Sid Puddlefoot.
But how come Falkirk the only club
That's
to hold?
magnificent. The only Scottish club.
Only Scottish club. No other Scottish club broke the world transfer record.
Fuck, that's cool, man. I love that shit.
Ryan says the 4-4-2 formation originates from shinty. When Queen's Park wanted friendlies in 1867, they would play shinty teams. Football teams at the time were attack heavy, but the shinty formation were more structured, and that's how they lined up, close to how they know from shinty.
I love that shit. I love that.
It's like see how when they say Scotland and England, that's like, is there no some sort of fact that the first Scottish, or at least one of the Scotland and England games that happened, and that's when they realised how to actually play football?
It was the very first ever football international match was Scotland versus England.
No, but was there no something like, I think, right, what I'm saying is, like, the passing game, they say the passing game was invented in Scotland versus England. Does that mean, like, before it, they were all just, like, every cunt was running for the ball and, like, pushing each other on the road and all that? I'm sure that it was invented at a game, Scotland versus England. They decided, fuck, let's just pass it.
Maybe be, mate. Maybe be. I've never heard that.
I'd love to see footage, but how they played before that. But
Charles.
Aye.
You've got to read the last fact out, Grado. You're not reading that one out.
I'll read that one out. So Sasa says
he's already in trouble with a woman today.
Michael Stewart is 14,809 days old and has never seen a pair of human breasts in person.
Stephen would be all over that one if he was here.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
It is the Player Profile Playoff with piesports.com. They will bring you the taste of Scottish football directly to your door. And do you know we consume over 1 million pies each week in the Scottish game, gentlemen?
It's a goal for Charlie Gallagher.
Yeah.
It's a girl.
On there you'll find a variety of different packages and you'll get everything from Scotch, steak and gravy. They do a lovely chilli one. You tried the chilli one?
No.
I'm gonna make a big order again because they're fucking brilliant.
Are they dynamite?
I'm not even kidding on. They're fucking dynamite.
If you aren't on the internet, get them on 01417399999. That's 01417399999.
I'm phone about replies.
Just
what's up, Sports? I'm phone about replies. I'm not going to internet.
I'm not got the internet, but I've managed to get you on my telephone.
I'm looking for an order for pies. I mean, I only heard about it on a fucking internet podcast.
That's a very valid point, Grado.
And what kind of pies you looking for? Oh, just Scotch.
I just like them plain. Maybe throw in an onion one.
I eat them cold.
Whether you're phoning them or getting them online, they will deliver free of charge a bunch of postcodes, which you'll find on their website. But if you haven't got the internet, you won't find it there. Deliveries will be made on Friday and Saturday, so you can enjoy the game with some pies. Of course, on Football Daft, we like to give away the pies. And on to play today is Ross. How you doing, Ross?
All good, guys, yourselves?
Brilliant, mate.
Great to have you on, and you are a Celtic supporter. Well, my goodness.
About fucking time.
About fucking time. How have you? What have you made the Celtic so far this season, Ross?
Work in progress, I think.
Work in progress. Disappointed at the Old Firm, obviously.
Glasgow Derby.
Yep.
Glasgow Derby, Chris, you're spot on with that.
Here we go. Here we go.
I just said some That's great. I think should probably just do a Glasgow Derby match here.
He's going to be greeting about it as much as what he did if you thought it was just a Glasgow Derby. Anyway.
There we go.
We don't take kindly to defeats of any nature, Graham.
You know how the game works, Ross. I've got descriptions here. I'm going to read out. You buzz in when you know the answer. If you do buzz in, get it wrong, however, you hand play to the other person. It's first to two that wins. Now, I thought I'd do something a wee bit different this week again, guys. I thought we'd take a little journey through the lower leagues. So we're going to look at League 2 teams this week.
Yeah, fucker.
But they're players?
No, not their players. We're the actual teams themselves. So I'll describe to you a team. You got to buzz in with them.
That'll be good, actually.
All right, okay. So we'll flip a coin to see who is playing. Heads, Grado. Tails, it's Chris. Heads is Grado. You're coming up against.
No, it's a Glasgow Derby, man.
It's a Glasgow Derby.
It's a Derby player profile.
Right, okay, so I've got the teams here in front of me. You ready, Ross?
Yeah.
What's your buzzer going to be?
We'll go for Dembele. Hopefully we'll put a few by Rangers and cut her.
Aye, no, let him keep him. Let him just have it. Let him have it.
Okay.
Let him have Dembele.
Look, he's injured actually. Sorry.
Right, his buzzer's Dembele, mine's is...
John is a Celtic supporter, isn't he?
No, man, Camden. Right, yours is Dembele, mine's is no playing.
Alright, brilliant. Okay then, here we go. First club out, boys. You ready? This club adopted their name in 1986 after the original club went out of business originally in the 50s. They were called Postal United and played in red, but now play in black and white. Remember, it's League 2 teams. They are currently managed by ex-Scotland international Gary Naismith.
No playing.
Grado.
Dunfermline.
League 2.
Oh, fuck. I thought it was all the leagues. apart from
just
SPL. Oh, well,
League
fuck
Two.
it.
Okay, Ross, I'll continue with the clue. They are managed by Gary Naismith and play their home games at Meadowbank Stadium.
No,
League 2.
Can I jump in?
Do you know what, Chris? These two are. I've only got 3 today because I thought this was dead easy. The team play their games at Meadowbank Stadium, Ross. Where is Meadowbank Stadium?
What city
Livingston.
is Meadowbank in?
Livingston.
What city is Meadowbank in?
Edinburgh City.
Yay!
I never go at it.
Do you know what, Ross? You were given an open goal. I'm giving the point to Grado on that one because you were given an open goal there, Roscoe. Come on,
we're
son.
not allowed to use that name on this show.
No, not really.
I don't know if we can hear him right. Did you shout in there?
No.
It's all about the comedy timing. Right, next team out. I'll be very disappointed if you don't get this one, boys.
Okay.
This club currently sit 8th in the league and they're the only club to have competed in the professional leagues since the 20th century, but have never won a league title. They've been promoted but never won a league title. They have a Norwegian supporters club and notable supporters include Michael Palin and Isaiah Whitlock from The Wire, who plays Clay Davis.
There we go.
Stirling Albion.
No!
Clay Davis from... We talk
about this team every week.
Every week.
I know,
You're still in the game, Ross. Come on, son. They play in maroon and their nickname is the Warriors.
Fucking raging now.
Ross, come on.
I can it now.
League 2. They play in maroon.
Stenny in it.
It's Stennis Muir, right? Okay.
Let's get a third one, right? Next one's a winner.
I'm going to be honest, you've ambushed this boy with these questions. It's normally footballers that we're
I
talking
know,
about.
that's not fair for him, that's not fair.
I thought
Right,
people,
one way, right,
I actually
one way,
thought
next one,
people
one.
listen to a football podcast might know something about Scottish football. Do you know what I mean?
Don't look at me.
You would think people that do Scottish football podcasts would know
Ah,
about
well, that's true. That is true.
Don't look at me.
Right, come on, boys. Right, this is the last one. This is actually probably the toughest as
See
well.
me, right? It's like the SPL, and then just the rest is just.
Right.
on 1 week.
It's just like, to me, like Albion Rovers are in the same league as like, Dunfermline and Alloa is in the same. I lose interest, even though apart from when I'm following Ricky.
Brilliant. Right, the last team out here, League Two teams. Here we go. In 1968, this team reached the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup, the furthest into the tournament a Highland League club had ever progressed. They originally played at Cooper Park and are the most northerly football league team in the UK. They currently have the only Brazilian in Scottish football, with Matthias Macado, and play their home games at Borough Briggs.
Yeah, Figway, no playing. Elgin City.
Jesus Christ, that's like pulling teeth.
He's sitting there smiling because he knows he's getting the fucking pies anyway, doesn't he?
I'll get you the prize, big man.
Brilliant.
Roscoe, sorry for switching it up this week. I will take this into account next week that nobody apparently knows anything about football below the Scottish Premier League. Thank you very much for playing, Ross. Grado's going to give you the prize, so well done. And remember, if you want to play with piesports.com, just look out for the links on the social media.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
Let me tell you about Lucy Nicotine. It's finally in Britain. It's a company that's founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers, and they're basically looking for a better and cleaner nicotine alternative. Now, their mission is to reduce tobacco-related harm to absolute zero. It's been researched and developed for 3 years, and it's made for people, researched for people, no for patients. So, as you can imagine, Lucy has created a nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine, and it comes in 3 flavours. It comes in spearmint, red mango, and citrus berry.
Red mango?
Red
Sounds
mango.
nice.
Well, this is why this has got me intrigued, right? It's convenient and it's discreet. Obviously, you can chow your chuggy and it can be enjoyed anywhere, flights, at your work, or even in the gym.
And I tell you what, see if you're smoking a fag, you're not going to have nice breath. See if you're chewing the chewing gum,
Exactly.
you're going to have nice breath.
Exactly. Well, look at us now sitting here with our vapes. So probably they never be stits in. Sitting here vaping again. We are going to get sent. Hopefully, we're going to try a wee bit of Lucy's. Give the chuggy gum a go, because this is a nightmare. I will fully admit this is becoming a mega thorn in my side. See this waking up at 3 a.m. and waking up my butt. Oh my! I wake up for a piddle and then I'm
Have a wee vape.
vaping conscious. It's the first thing I reach for when I wake up in the morning. I mean, I went to Morrison's yesterday to hand my suit into the dry cleaners and I had to turn back because I forgot my vape. I was only handing in a fucking suit. Anyway, that's by the by. But
Do you know what? It becomes an attachment to you, like your
horrible.
mobile phone.
It's
Like,
I mean, if you had the gum, that's not going to happen.
Well,
you know?
exactly, and it's 2021, mate. It's time to get rid of your cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip, and get yourself some Lucy nicotine gum. It's the real deal. Now, a subscription to Lucy, it comes directly to your door each month. It's simple, and you don't have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down. That is actually quite
That's a
ideal,
good
innit?
point as well, but you saying
Come here, Don.
unplug your vape. Remember that day when you didn't bring your charger?
What was it like?
Oh my
Different-
God,
Who's got a small USB? Who's got a small
No,
USB?
it was like renting and train spotting.
Granny withdrawals. It was pathetic. Well, you're never going to do this because they're going to send the chuggy to your door, and it's as easy as this. Football Daft listeners, get to the Lucy website. It's uk.lucy.co. Use the promo DAFT and you're going to get 20% off your first order of the nicotine gum. It's uk.lucy.co. Use the promo DAFT, and I have to give you this warning. The product does contain nicotine. It is an addictive chemical, but get yourself to uk.lucy.co and be sure to use that promo code DAFT and get yourself some of that Lucy gum.
riddles on Football Daft.
Right, before we go any further, Grado,
There you go.
I had a dream the other night that you died,
Oh,
right? And I'm going to send you something now, right? I want you to play it. This was the music that they were playing when they took your coffin into the lodge.
you're joking.
Aye, your funeral was in a lodge, by the way. Right, so
Where was,
I've sent
where was the
it.
buffet?
I've sent it to you. Let it play. Right.
That's quite emotional, man.
Everybody was all sad and all that.
Oh, I remember them well. Remember the riddles you used to do on Football Daft. I'll miss them.
Do you remember the time you do this with your biscuits when you're cutting a sheep's hair?
Oh, he had the best riddles. He had the best riddles.
Say what you want about him, but in your riddle.
That's fucking brilliant, man. Anyway, welcome back to another edition of Grado's 3 Riddles. Let's get an update on the scores. I'll pass it to John.
The current scores are Chris on 11, who is the absolute master of this. However, Stephen is off this week, and it's as a ball here between us. I'm on 5 and
you what.
Stephen's on 4, so I could get a wee
I
bit.
could take a wee step back here and allow John to get his score up on Stephen. However, sport integrity.
Sporting integrity applies.
Okay,
and
okay.
the first one, I've actually wrote down the riddles this week and forgot to write their names. So I'm going to need to try and remember their names first.
Brilliant.
Right, hold on. Right, okay, you ready?
Right, okay.
Right, I'm thinking, right, okay. Right, okay. Beef hot pot gone for a new suit. Beef hot pot gone for a new suit.
Right, I know what the beef hot pot is.
I think I've got the second one. Oh God, beef hot pot. Oh, I've got the second. And I'm just trying to think of a player that's. I think I've got.
Right, beef hot pot stew.
Stuart Slater. Yes! There's
There
that
you go,
teamwork.
mate.
Right, okay, you ready?
Brilliant.
Yep.
Pay my gas bill on the sea of the Ayrshire coast. This fucking makes no sense.
Pay my gas.
No, seriously, I'm starting to think, why did I say that? Right, paying my gas bill on the sea of the Ayrshire coast. If you get, I reckon I've stumped you with this one.
I think you've stumped yourself with this one.
Pay the gas bill on the sea of the Ayrshire coast. So what's on the Ayrshire coast?
There's got to be an edit in this, because this is going to be a good fucking 10 minutes here, I think.
Oh man.
Craig Island.
No.
That was the first one I thought as well. See Irish Sea off the
Stephen Island.
I'll tell you right now,
Stephen Island?
These are very, very, very cold.
Right, okay. So not the North Irish Sea then.
5 hours later.
West.
I think you could get it now.
West. Terrible West.
No. Terrible West. Chapman legend.
Remember, it's Scottish.
Yeah.
Fuck,
It doesn't have to be a footballer, does it?
it's a Scottish football player.
Oh, right, it's a football player, right, okay.
I could give you another clue, but
Ian Westwater.
That's right!
Ian Westwater. Brilliant.
Well done, John. Well done, mate.
What's the Ian bit? Who's the gas?
Ian,
brilliant! Oh, great. Oh, that is fucking outstanding. Brilliant. Right, okay, third one here.
Right,
Fuck's sake, I'm getting schooled today.
Oh my god.
I'm 3 points ahead of Stephen,
That's absurd. This is absurd. A lorry. Oh no! Fucked it! I fucked it.
Is it Laurie McNenny?
Nah, basically it was right, okay, I've gave it away, right, but the original fucking thing was a truck in Wonderland.
Laurie Allison.
No.
A truck in Wonderland. Laurie Alice.
Close.
Laurie.
Close.
It's not Larry.
Laurie Sanchez.
Listen, come on.
Laurie
I don't know if I
Sanchez.
can use this now.
No, yeah, you.
I mean,
Andy
you're
Laurie.
better.
Laurie Alice Laurie. Andy Laurie.
Laurie in Wonderland.
Laurie in
He's a
Wonderland.
rogue him then if you don't know him. I just saw his name.
Is he Scottish football?
Played with Dundee United, played with Queen's
Lawrence
Park.
Shankland.
No, but
Laurie, I can't even think of Laurie
Think along
Sanchez.
the right Alice, but no Alice. See the way I did E on the name.
Laurie Hatter.
No.
Laurie Hatter. Laurie Rabbit. Laurie. I can't even think of any players called Laurie. Laurie Sanchez is the only one I can
You
think
must know
of.
this guy then.
Andy Laurie, who played for Falkirk, is the only other one I can think of.
Grado's raging.
I'm raising it myself, man.
Raging at yourself.
Right.
I'm gonna have to
By
get
the way, he's.
Can we
I'll
throw
tell you
it?
now, right?
I tell you what, can we throw it?
He's in the game, so you should get it.
He's in the
Still
game
playing.
now.
He's in the game as a manager
He's in the game as a man.
in the second division.
Laurie Ellis.
Yes.
Yes, Queen's Park
I've
manager.
never heard of him before.
Queen's Park manager. Yes. Did I get a point for that?
Queen Sweep, John.
Brilliant.
Stephen's going to think I'll fucking took a back seat on that one because I said that before.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Call them now on 01698 767 172.
Gentlemen, it's time for the Eldorado Swanky Moment of the Week. And I feel at this point in the show we should really put on swanky voices, wear perhaps a wee bow tie.
Should I turn my moustache up at the ends?
Yes, absolutely do that, Chris. Do that, Chris. Because Eldorado...
Wallabies were wallabies, not.
Wallabies, remember Wallabies? That was a comfy garment.
Remember wallabies? Let's all wear something, something
Yeah,
like that
for next week we'll definitely get that. Because Eldorado are our new sponsor on Football Daft. Chris, you went away with a bottle last week. Were you trying it at the weekend?
Do you know what? I did have a wee snifter, yes.
Yes.
And
a cheese board.
A cheese board and yes, a cigarette.
A cigarette?
I felt fantastic, I'm not going to lie.
A cigarette!
And do you know what? See when it's cold outside, gives you that nice warm feeling.
Oh, I like that. Well, especially when it's coming up to winter in October.
Well, it's funny you say that because I actually felt an ear infection coming on and I had a wee drink of that and that was brand new.
Well,
can we just say
just point out the fact that the name tonic wine does not imply any health or medicinal properties.
Well, I used it medicinally.
Right, okay, there you go.
Sue me.
Right, so there you are. Remember to ask for LD at any swanky bar. It's easy to drink, it's short, it's fruity, and finish with that little
Just
trace
like
of
me, short
caffeine.
and fruity.
Fruity, just like us. And it's finished with a trace of caffeine. It is very, very nice. And it's available at your local convenience store. You can follow them on Facebook or Instagram at Eldorado Tonic Wine or check them out, eldoradotonicwine.com. So to celebrate the swanky taste of Eldorado, we are picking out swanky moments from Scottish football over the next few weeks and next few months. And we're leaving it for you to vote on our Twitter at Football Daft Pod. Last week's choices were the following. Leo Purden's debut for Clyde and his Messi-esque goal.
There's only one winner.
Lee Miller boys, Lennon's goal for Scotland. That was Lennon Miller. He scored for the under-17 from the halfway line. Incredible. If you've not seen it, check out Lee Miller's Twitter for that. John McGinn's Arse Tactics for Scotland against Austria. And 9/11 documentaries as Grado nominated last week. So here are the results. And I feel a wee bit of a drum roll here, boys. If you could hit the table, thank you very much. Thank you, Chris. In last place, it was Grado's choice of 9/11 documentaries with 18%. He stopped drumming now.
A bit distasteful because
was
it was
anniversary week.
Anyway,
Exactly.
Disappointed.
Chris's choice of Lennon Miller's goal was just ahead with 19%. In second, it was listener Ethan's choice of John McGinn's arse, but with 36% of the vote, it was a surefire winner for Leo Purden and his Clyde debut.
Well, do you know what? Nobody deserves it more than we Leo.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Fair enough.
His dad couldn't be on the podcast today, but Leo gets the victory for that one. So, boys, let's look back over this week. What are your Scottish football swanky moments? Let's come to you first, Chris.
Mine, I was going to say something about Hibs and Hearts, but I'm going to say something else instead. The fact that Albion Ajeti scored 2 goals when he only had 15 touches of the ball throughout the full 90 minutes.
Do you make that?
That's quite swanky.
Do you make that?
Nope.
No, that's true. Do you know I heard a statistic today? He's only had 18 shots in goal in his whole Celtic career and he scored 8 goals.
It's not bad.
Is that a good return because it's only 18 shots?
Well, I would say
think about it, it's nearly 50%.
That is swanky, Chris, but I raise you James Tavernier's wonder goal against St Johnstone on Saturday's lunchtime game.
I believe that is what is known as an arsewinder.
Horsewinder.
He's absolutely cannoned that into the net. And what a goal.
I actually said on Rangers Daft that I initially thought he meant to cross it, but they all kind of shut me down.
How did he get the dip on that shot? How did he get the dip on that? It was incredible. I mean, Xander Clark didn't stand a chance for that. No keeper in the world does stand a chance for that. Unbelievable goal.
Backass.
Backass, I get it. I am going to nominate Barry Mackay is just signed for Hearts.
I thought he was a barber.
Barry Mackay, no.
Somebody said he was a barber.
Somebody did say he was a barber, but no, he's signed.
I never said he was a barber.
He is signed for Hearts.
Oh well, skinfades all round at Tynecastle.
Hats off to the social media team at Hearts, who had Mr. Garrison from South Park with a with Mackay on it. So I thought, very good. That is well played for Hearts. So
drugs are bad.
Yeah. So nice one from Hearts. And we've got a listener nomination from Grant Reid, who is basically nominating 55-year-old Malky Nicholson, who produced an incredible double save at the weekend, playing for Portree versus Glenelg in the Sky Locklash FA League.
I'm not having that one.
Look at this.
Is there any evidence?
I've got the evidence here. So here's the 55-year-old big man. Look at that save. And then rebound, there he is again.
Wait till you see him crawling near Grado.
Oh, get in there, Biggin. That's brilliant, man.
The goalkeeper has analysed the goalkeeper. What do you make of that, Grado?
Oh, that was superb for 55-year-old man.
55-year-old,
the cat.
Big Malky Nicholson.
What does he play for? The Portree?
He plays for Portree.
The Portree cat.
The Portree cat. So there you go.
There you go, the Portree cat.
So that is the swanky moment from Grant Reid, who is our listener. So that is what you've got to vote on this week, Chris.
What?
Brilliant. Yeah, at that point you might go, a Yeti's...
yes, a Yeti's return.
Brilliant.
For 15 touches.
Grado.
Tav's Dinger.
Me, the Hearts social media team, and the Mr. Garrison South Park. And we've got Grant's choice of Big Malky Nicholson for Portree in the stick.
The Portree cat.
So get voting, look out on our social media, and remember, guys, drink Eldorado Tonic Wine. It's Scotland's own, and it's now Football Daft.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Find them on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at G4 Claims Limited.
Remember, you can now get more content from Football Daft on Patreon. Just in case you don't know what Patreon is, it's a subscription service that you sign up to not only support the podcast, but you will also get more content. There are tiers from which you can choose from, and you can get everything from the video version of the show, the outtakes, teammates every week, a free t-shirt, and the chance to be a pundit on Celtic and Rangers Daft. Plus versions of Celtic and Rangers Daft, cameos from the boys, and the chance to come up into a studio to watch us recording the show. So, if you fancy any of that, get signed up now at patreon.com/Football Daft. That's Patreon, patreon.com, and Football Daft, all one word. Get involved now, as we would love to welcome you to the squad. And talking of teammates, here's my big mate, Bob Malcolm.
Worst dressed.
Stefan Klose.
Best finisher.
Best finisher, Chris Boyd.
Worst trainer.
Oliver Bernard.
Moaniest.
Barry Ferguson, without a doubt.
Who do you want to back you up in a fight?
Who do I want to back me up? Marvin Andrews, but he's not that type of guy.
Best looking.
Apart from myself.
Apart from yourself.
Probably back in the day, Big Ammo was no bad with his long hair. A wee bit bald in the butt, but...
Most skillful.
Ronald De Boer.
Teacher's pet.
Morris Ross.
Who never gets the round in?
Who never gets the round in? I'd put that Peter McDonald he was a favourite for getting the first round, and that was the last one of the night.
That was it.
2 o'clock first round, and that was him for the day.
Worst taste in music.
Worst taste in music? I'd probably go for myself, because I'm not really into the music that much. So,
don't like music.
Biggest bam up merchant.
We had a few, to be fair. I think who was the biggest. I'll put it down to Kevin Muscat. He was no bad. He had a few down his locker.
Top shagger.
It goes without saying, doesn't it? Big fucking stupid. He breeds it.
Best you've played with?
Ronald De Boer.
Football Daft with G4 Claims. Been involved in a road traffic accident? Get them now at notitfaultclaims.com.
That's it for Football Daft. As a three-man booth this week in the absence of Mr. Purden, who is on the set of River City as we speak. I've enjoyed it though.
I've had a great time.
You've had a great time, Chris.
I just like that we didn't interview him there. I can't be bothered listening to folks shite.
Right, okay, brilliant. So there's no football. There's no Football Daft meets this week because Grado couldn't listen to anyone's shite this week. So but remember, if you want to catch up with some of our fantastic interviews which Grado has been involved in, they're on the Football Daft channel now. You can hear from the likes of Billy Gilmore, John Hartson, Marco Negri,
Yes,
Andy
you can hear all of their shite.
You can hear all of their shite on the Football Daft channel right now. Brilliant.
Dickhead, man. Brilliant.
Remember, if you want to listen to any of the past shows, they're all up there on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Get more content, of course, at Patreon. You can see the video version. You can see Grado vaping. You can see Chris in his cap today. What you got in your cap?
Monkey see, monkey do. Told vapes now cause me.
No, I was vaping for ages, but that tasty one that you've got made me return to the sweet nipple.
However,
the sweet smoky nipple.
However, next week we'll be putting more vape away.
And we'll be chowing on Lucy.
Yes, you can get, if you go, you can get a discount on Lucy nicotine as well. Just go to uk.lucy.co and type in Daft and you can get nicotine gum from Lucy there.
Lucy, I'm coming for you, baby.
Brilliant. You get all the outtakes from this week's show as well, and trust me, there's been a lot this week. So get up there.
Again.
Patreon.com/Football Daft to watch Chris's flat joints, and please remember to rate, review, please say nice things. And Grado's, you need to get the video version at patreon.com/Football Daft. Rate us on Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Let's get you two up the road. You're doing my head in now. So get us on socials at Football Daft Pod, at Football Daft Podcast. And until next time, this has definitely been Daft on Football Daft.
Audio Frontier.